don't fire a fish because it can't climb trees. When you got all this water around you. Some of us, we were just misassigned earlier in our career. We were put into a job, in a position, and all we want to do was just get our foot in the door. Sometimes all you want is a job. And then you figure, I can work my way up from there, but they will prejudge you. Yeah, and that is the essence of the word prejudice, to prejudge someone. They'll look at you and they'll see how tall you are, how short you are. They'll look at all these other unconscious biases, and some of them are not unconscious at all, and they will put you in a role that they feel that you should be in. But you don't fire a fish because it can't climb trees. Yeah, you're not good at climbing trees. You're not a good tree climber. You're not doing well in the current position that you have. They don't know that you got aspirations and you have dreams and you have goals and you've been working towards them and you have a skill set that they have not allowed you to be able to show them. They made you a fish. And they said, we are a tree climbing company. But don't you know, man, if you just put me in some water, if you just let me see what other things there are to be done, I will show you what I can do. That is the problem. Too many times we have just been put inside a box or painted into a corner or fished into a yard and said, this is what you're supposed to be, and don't try to behave outside of your station. This is where we want you. That's not where I should be. You've misclassified. You've misassigned me. And if that's ever happened to you, and if it is happening to you right now, I think you've come to the right place, cousins. Yes, you have. And I think today is a good day. So come on, cousins, and let's pod about it.
In a world fraught with confusion, one man will break his silence.
You are now tuned in to the funkiest show this side of the Pecos, baby. Welcome, Word to the Wise. This is season 2, episode 43, and it's called Don't Fire a Fish. And the preamble for that is we've all been placed into a category, a box where we didn't belong there. We had bigger dreams, and I say your dreams should be so big that it scares you to death. So welcome to the funkiest show this side of the Pecos. Who, me? I am just your friendly neighborhood liaison, just your tour guide for this drive, this life, this journey that we call leadership development. And sometimes we look at it as, man, I just got to get my foot in the door. Don't you know you don't need a title to be a leader? Man, my parents, they were great leaders, and I got to give a shout out to the people that brought me into this world. Yeah, give it up for Pops and Fat Mama. Oh, yes, they did the best that they could. And, you know, if I could have a motto, it would probably be Mama Tried. Yeah, and Father tried, and everybody else in my life that was there was a mentor or a coach or a tutor or a teacher. They all contribute to the hodgepodge and the mess that you see that is me. Everybody that I have come across, and all I've ever wanted to do, you guys, was just touch one person's life. And after teaching and training and facilitating leadership development class for a couple decades now, I believe that I probably have touched that one person. And if I have indeed touched that one person, then Father God, just give me one more. That's all I want. Just to be able to show somebody that good is the enemy of great. And if you want greatness, then good it just isn't good enough. You will wallow in mediocrity and you will find yourself at the bottom of the heap because entry level is where they push you. Some people can walk in at upper level and senior management right off the streets because of their previous experience, but a whole bunch of us are getting started. Some getting started early, and some are getting started a little bit later in life. And we want to be able to move up ourselves. We have aspirations and dreams, but they put you in a box and say, this is where you should be. You know, I think back to one young lady who I had working for me, and it was in supply chain. And this young lady, she was just supposed to be taking cartons, boxes off a conveyor belt, right? Put them onto a cart. Take the box off the belt, put it into the cart. And she kept standing there. And I'm like, what are you doing? Everybody else has their productivity and their pace is up to par. They are matching the speed of that conveyor, but you're just standing there staring at the box. And she said, well, this one is bent up. This one is crushed. And this one sounds like it don't have enough packaging in it. It's not going to be able to ride well once we put it on that truck. And this one over here, it just seems like I wouldn't buy it. If I was a customer, I would not pay for this. And I stopped there and I had to wonder, and it came to the conclusion, this person is not a conveyor belt worker. She's a inventory control. She's a quality assurance. She's an inspector. That is her natural attribute. But I had her as a fish over here climbing trees. I need you to climb this tree a little bit faster, fish. And she was like, but I just don't feel right by putting this stuff out here on the cart because it's going to wind up on a truck, right? And boy, did she have a point. Made me reevaluate myself. You see, you can learn a lot from someone who is doing entry-level position. They're human beings. They're men and women with jobs. And just because they came off the streets and you feel like, you know what, we need everybody to be able to do anything. Well, it's once been said, you know, first thing you got to do is get them on the bus. And then figure out what seat they should be in on said bus. First thing you do is get them on the team. And then you start figuring out what position they should play. Yeah, you have a person who is great at throwing the football, but you want them to be a lineman. I want you to put your knuckles in the ground, and I want you to get down here in the muck and the mire and the mud, and I want you to block and be a tackler. You don't know, they're a quarterback. And they will not excel at that position. And then what we would do, we'll cut them from the team. You're cut. You didn't do the position I assigned to you. But we never did a reevaluation. Have anybody ever put you in that situation? Put you in a box. Put you in a position that this is for you, and you knew that it was not. Young people, I want to talk to you right here, right now on Word to the Wise. And I want to let you know that sometimes you gotta get your foot in the door. You can't come in with all these demands. You got to come in with a reasonable expectation. Yes, you may have to do something that is out of the realm and the scope of your full capability, but at least you have a job. You got to put in 90 days, at least. So many times I've seen so many people that get the job and can't even work one fiscal quarter. Can't even make it on the job 90 days, let alone celebrate an anniversary. Now, if you have these dreams and aspirations of you want your own company, fine. If you have that entrepreneurial spirit that is inside you, go for it. Do that. Because I'm telling you, nobody ever got rich punching a clock. Some even on salary. You're not going to get rich. But if you think just starting up your own company will instantaneously make you the big boss and you're going to be rich, I got news for you. The customer is now your boss. And you still have to toe that line. And many businesses, they do fail within the first year because of the expectations that you have. You didn't want to put in the work. You didn't want to put a seed in the ground. You see, when you put a seed in the ground, it's going to require a lot of labor. You got to roll up your sleeves. You got to put some fertilizer in there. You got to put some water. You maybe even have to put some other plant food or nutrients. Or if it's a lawn, put some pre-emergent and deal with the weeds. The weeds. Yeah, they pop up, don't they? Yeah, you go through all these things to make your lawn nice and beautiful. But then those weeds raise their ugly head. Here's the caveat about weeds. No one planted them, but they came just the same. And that's the same thing with your career. You had dreams of having a beautiful pasture. And you looked and you saw other people that were doing jobs that you wanted to do. But here you are on probation. Here you are a new hire. You're fresh to the business, fresh to the company, and you want their 20 years. Instead of saying, you know what, I'm in week 1. Well, you're not going to get 20 days in what they have in 20 years. No work invested, no progress. No struggle, as Frederick Douglass said, no progress. You don't put in the work today, you will not reap the benefits tomorrow. That don't mean that you can't start looking around and say, okay, first thing first, get my foot in the door. Second thing, kick ass right where I am. I'm going to do this job to the best of my ability, even if it's out of my forte. I'm still going to get in here and I'm going to crush it. I'm going to wake up every morning and I'm going to hit that floor running. And then when I have accumulated some accolades, accumulated some time in, I will start polishing up my resume. I would start getting ready for the interview process. I would start looking at all the other positions that they have available, and I would start to dream and figure out what it is that I want. I'm not just going for that next position. I'm going for 2 positions up, but I got to start somewhere. Too many people don't want to start. They want instantaneous gratification. Yeah, you can't get that on day 1. You can't come in on day 1 and be late to orientation. What you say, cousins? Yeah, I've seen it happen. I've seen people miss 2 days of the first week. You just got the job and you missing days. I've also seen people who got hired and we told them, come on down to the job. We would love to be able to see how you work out. We gave you an interview, did well. Gave you whatever, background check, drug test, passed those, good job. We want you to work for the company. And they are a no-show. No call, no show, day 1. How are you ever going to get to Mount Everest if you don't take that first step out your front door? It's a scary journey, is it not? To travel around the world? Yeah, but when we do that, when we travel around the world, it started off, it's just 1 step out your front door. It's dangerous, but it's a beautiful journey if you just don't give up. But you gotta put in the work. My business and my job is to pour into people. Yes, just to pour into people. You know, it's an old story about Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln said, if you give me 5 hours to chop down a tree, and I'm going to spend the first 2 hours sharpening my axe. I'm going to sharpen my axe. Why would old Honest Abe do that? Because, see, I can envision him out there in the woods, with maybe a black tank top on, stovetop hat, rocking the Old Testament beard with that wedding stone inside of his hand, and he's eyeing that tree. In 2 hours, he is sharpening his axe for 2 hours. And people might come by and say, what are you doing? Why don't you just get started? He said, well, remember what you told me. You gave me 5 hours, and in 5 hours, this tree will be down. But I am going to work smarter and not harder. I think he understood a very fundamental fact, and that's a dull axe won't cut. You will spend more time hacking away than actually getting the job done. Preparation versus procrastination. It may look like he is procrastinating, but what he's doing is getting prepared. Are you prepared for success? Yes, I had an episode on my last podcast last week, and I hope you checked it out. And if you haven't, I implore you, go take a look at it. It was called Be Careful What You Wish For. Yeah, because you just might get it. Be careful of what you wish for. Are you prepared for success? Some people will treat you differently because they just don't have that customer service spirit inside of them. They're not prepared to be able to receive success, and they will be judgmental. Some of them will prejudge you. I talked about an unconscious bias. Do you know what that means? I hope you do. That means that some people you just don't like. And you don't like them because they don't like the things that you like, or they just don't look like you or act like you. But adversely, there are other people that you're just naturally, you gravitate to them because they may have some similarities, man. Hey, I like the cut of your jib. And that will hurt your business. And Abraham Lincoln is out there slugging this tree, and he brings this tree down, and boy, no work invested, you will not be able to get the job done. But when you put in the work, combine that with preparation, and add a dream to it, you put all these three things together, and boy, if you just stick to it, you can and will be successful. Sometimes we put other people in charge of, you can delegate as a leader. Delegate some responsibility. Here's the question though. Can you delegate the task or delegate the responsibility? It was your job. And you told him, I'm going to give you a stretch assignment. I want to give you the ability to step outside your comfort zone. And I know just what you need. Why don't you try doing this? And now that person may see it as a golden opportunity. Other people may not want it at all. You can't want it more than they do. If they don't want success, you can't want it more than they do. And you will find yourself hoping that I see the potential in you. I see greatness. I see it inside you, and they don't see it inside of themselves. So they will not be successful. And as leaders, we will beat ourselves up because of that. Man, maybe I failed that person. No. You did the right thing. You gave them an opportunity. And you didn't fire them as a fish because they couldn't climb trees. No, you didn't. You said, I'm going to put you in some water. And some people just waded in the water. Some people drowned. And some people, they took off like a duck. You know how a duck is going across the pond and looks like it is smooth sailing, but underneath the feet are paddling like mad. The work is going on beneath the surface on top. All you see is their progress. Some people are like a duck in water. And some people are just not ready for it. I'll give you an example. I went out with a couple friends of mine, co-workers. One was an older white gentleman, one was a younger white young lady, and we had put in hard work. Yes, and we came together as a team. Our color and our ages didn't matter when we were standing there side by side doing the work that we had to do. And I'm going to tell you, we knocked it out the park, man. We crushed it. And so we went out and do some team building, went and kicked it at a place called Texas Live. Now, if you've never been to one of these places, it's pretty much a mall of sport bars and restaurants. loud, a lot of stuff going on. But the main attraction, the main place had a giant screen with about 12 other little TVs around it. And it's huge. And you got games going on from all across the world in America. And on the big screen, a lot of people are sitting, they want to sit down in that bullpit in that area so they can be part of the action, because I knew a secret that many others, especially my peers who had flew in from out of state, I knew that big screen, it raises up, and behind it was a stage, and sometimes they have live music. I've even seen ESPN during their halftime show behind this big screen on this nice glamorous looking stage. And on this particular day, they were having a hot dog eating contest. I never saw one live, and I wanted to see it live at Texas Live. I went up to the hostess. I said, I'd like to get a table for 3, me and my 2 peers over here, and like to sit somewhere down there. Oh, there's nothing available down there for you. And I'm like, for me? Why not for me? Oh, they're all reserved. They are. Oh, okay. So I turned to my peers and I said, what do you guys want to do? You want to go someplace else? They was like, well, this place is 2 stories tall. It's 2 levels. Why don't we just check out what's upstairs? I'm like, cool, because it's a professional bull riding association up there, mechanical bulls, and you can really get up there and have a lot of fun. Let's go check that out. We go to the stairs. Stairs are roped off. We go to the elevator to try to go upstairs, and it's a sign on the elevator. The 2nd floor is reserved for a private party. The whole floor, whoever was partying up there, they reserved the entire level of this place. So they were probably spent a pretty good coin, I might say. So we went back to the same hostess, and this young lady, this young sister, was there, and I saw 3 guys walk up, looked like they just came from the golf course. Can we get a table from 3? And her face lit up. She was so happy to help these 3 gentlemen. By all means, come on, follow me. And she took them down to where she said, no place for me. Now, something is going on. Drop a comment down there in the comments section if you can kind of feel what is happening down there. Yeah, see, it was no place for me. She had prejudged, maybe had an unconscious bias. I don't know what was going on in her head, but I felt like she did me dirty. And then another lady, her peer, comes up to the counter. Hey, how you guys doing today? I get the same glow from her that the other lady gave these 3 gentlemen. What would you like? My peer said, we're trying to get a table, trying to have some wings and stuff. And she said, well, follow me. And took us down to the very place where they told us it was reserved for others. I passed by the woman who denied us access, walking behind the woman who gave us equal treatment. And you should have seen the look on her face. Oh my goodness, she looked like somebody just pissed in her cornflakes. And I looked at me and I looked right back at her. I gave her that look like, you can't deny. You can't deny. She don't know. She was about to mess up a good tip for whoever's going to be the waitress or waiter. She was about to mess up a good sale to whomever owned that establishment. She was about to mess up money for other people because she had a funky attitude. That brings me to my point about Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln had a good attitude. He had work ethic. And he told himself, I'm going to do this job and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability, but I will not be denied. I'm going to use my brain and I'm going to work smarter and I'm not going to work harder. You said in 5 hours, chop this tree down. Trust me, this tree will be down. Now, I'm speaking to you in metaphors. I'm not talking about Abraham Lincoln. I'm not talking about trees either. This is a metaphor. What is in the metaphor? Well, first of all, who are you in this story? Some people may say, I'm Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, I'm just a guy with a job. I'm just a woman with a position. I'm just here to do my job and go home. I don't care about this place. I don't care about this job. I just want to, I don't want to work any overtime either. When my shift is over, I'm gone. I am just a worker bee, and that is it. I have no true vision. I want to go home. I definitely love my weekends, so I don't want to be put on any shift where I got to work a Saturday and Sunday. No, I don't want to relocate the family to another building. I like this one. I like this shift. I'm going to do the job. Don't really like that. I don't care. That's Abraham Lincoln. I'm going to get the job done, and that's it. Is that you? If so, cool. That's good. That's your prerogative. Run with that. Some people may say, you know what? I'm the time. I'm that 5 hours. What time do we start? What time is the shift over? What time do we go to break? What time is lunch? Do I have enough time to be able to sneak off to the bathroom for a little bit and watch me about 30, 45 minutes of TikToks and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube videos and steal me another break? You know, what time is it? Always talking about time and thinking about time. And don't you know that time waits for no man? Instead of watching the clock, you should do what the clock does and keep moving. But we get stuck in that time, and all the time is passing you by. Career opportunities are passing you by. Yeah, because what are you doing? You're just biding time. You're wasting time. Dare I even say, killing time. All those things. And if that's you, then that's your prerogative. Know who I think you are? I think you're Abraham Lincoln's axe blade. That's who I think you are. Not just to handle the business end, the blade, the sharp part. Yes, and then once you finish listening to this podcast, I want you to be a walking, talking solution in search of a problem. Give me a tree to bring down. That's how the mentality. I want to get this job, and yes, don't fire me because I'm a fish and I can't climb trees. Put me in some water. Put me in, coach. Put me in the game, and I will show you exactly who I am and what I can do. And after all my years of training, and I hope I've touched one person, I probably have. And if I have, then Father God, give me one more, because you let me know who I am in this metaphor. I'm the wedding stone. This is me. Iron sharpens iron. And if you want to get sharp, you can't get sharp rubbing up against a marshmallow. So come on over here, cousins, to good old Word to the Wise with Cousin Terry. And hey, you can find me here on all of these stations. And you can also find me on my home station, which is on YouTube. And you can see it scrolling right down here at the bottom of the screen. And that is youtube.com/@TheTPatrick, or on TikTok at Cat Daddy in the Mix. Or all you really got to do is just type in Terry Patrick Podcast, and it will come up in any search engine. And if you'd like to be a first cousin and you would like to support this podcast, hey, there is no offering that's too small and none that is too big. I appreciate you guys. I thank you. And just know that, hey, it gets rough out there. And people may not recognize your full capability. Don't you let that be who you are. Don't let somebody else's opinion of you become your reality. Show them who you are. Let them know what you can do. Build, keep building and getting stronger every single day. And some days gonna be a little bit harder than others, and that's okay. Get that anniversary, and then move on and move up. And when you do say, you know what, I knew that I can do it, but I'm not done yet. And I hope you keep doing everything that you have to do, and that may all your dreams come true, all right? Take care, you guys. Love, peace, and hot catfish grease.
I hope you like the podcast and you really like it.
Come on, be serious.
And you better like my podcast. Like and subscribe.